Hey guys, today we're going to be unpacking everything that's wrong with a particular Facebook meme graphic. Now, if you're going to ask why are we wasting our time with meme graphics, the answer is because despite their kind of silly, disposable appearance, a lot of people take these meme graphics very, very seriously. And when we talk about millennials becoming nuns and a movement towards secularism, in my opinion, atheist meme graphics are far more consequential than something like the God Delusion ever was. Most people came to the God Delusion as fully formed adults with their own views of the world, and if they were atheists, then it kind of just confirmed their atheism for them. And if they were believers, then probably the likely reaction would be, "Is that all you've got? Is that the best you can do?" But these atheist memes are pitched at young people who are still kind of finding their way in the world and who are often very insecure. So the kind of pervasive attitude of kind of sneering disdain that runs through them has obvious appeal to them, and the fact that they often depend on a kind of simplistic, facile reasoning process doesn't hurt the case either. So today's meme comes from a quote of Ricky Gervais. Not Ricky Gervais, I actually had to look this up. It's Ricky Gervais, who, like Stephen Fry, is an English stand-up comedian who Americans are supposed to care about. For some reason I still haven't been able to discern. But let's look at that meme graphic right now. There have been nearly 3,000 gods so far, but only yours actually exists, right? The others are silly made-up nonsense, right? But not yours. Yours is real. Ricky Gervais. So the argument here is basically that we have a roulette wheel with 3,000 different slots corresponding to the 3,000 different gods. I have no idea where he gets that figure. I'm just going to let it slide. And we spin the roulette wheel, and the little ball goes round and round, and it just so happens to land in the one slot where we've staked our entire fortune, and what are the chances of that happening? It's the education lottery. I'm doing it for the kids. Now, this argument follows a pattern of failure common, I find, to atheist arguments, where I say it fails, and then it fails, and then it fails. Meaning, I can poke holes in the assumptions this argument makes, but even if I grant those assumptions, the argument still fails. Even if I grant the assumptions of those assumptions, the argument still fails. So the failures of this argument are myriad and nested, and I've outlined them here in notes, and I shall read them to you right now. So the first problem is that it assumes that these 3,000 gods represent 3,000 mutually exclusive options. What Ricky fails to realize is that the majority of these gods exist in pantheons of gods in pagan religions, and that these gods were mostly assumed to be natural agents operating in the natural world, so they don't really bear much resemblance to the timeless transcendent first cause of the monotheistic faiths. Moreover, even in the modern world we have syncretistic religions, where people believe in Yahweh as the one true God, while still believing in the gods of their native folk religions. So even if we grant the premise that we have 3,000 mutually exclusive options, the argument still fails, because just because you have several possibilities doesn't mean that all possibilities are equally weighted. A guy can believe that the moon is made of cheese, a guy can believe that the moon is made of cotton candy. Obviously, those beliefs don't stand an equal chance of being true as the belief that the moon is made of rock. So that's an extreme example. But we have scholars doing serious work on the historicity of the resurrection, and we could be pretty sure that the sun's not Helios driving a sun chariot across the sky, as the ancient Greeks thought. So even if we grant that we have 3,000 mutually exclusive and equally weighted possibilities, the argument still fails, because atheism would just be the 3,001st possibility. I mean, you can't be an atheist and believe in any of those 3,000 other gods, so atheism would stand just as much chance as being true as any of the 3,000 theisms. So as an endorsement of atheism, the argument winds up being self-defeating. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like, share, and subscribe.